Hey guys, welcome back to HVL Gamer, where we test games so you don't waste your time. The 429 update of Mongil Star Dive has dropped, and today I'm going to break down everything included in this update for you, from the new character to bug fixes, and especially the 500 free keys that I think you'll really want to hear about. The name of this update is The Flame That Takes What Lingers, and just hearing the name already sounds dramatic, right? And honestly, the content inside is just as noteworthy. So without wasting any more time, let's jump straight in. The first thing, and probably what 90% of you clicked on this video for, is that the new 5-star character Mina has officially been added to the game. Her full title is the Fate-Touched Nine-Tailed Fox, and just from the name, you can tell she's not your average character. Mina is introduced as a nine-tailed fox divine maiden, and this is one of those character concepts that feels heavily invested in both lore and visual design. If you want to dive deeper into her backstory and skill kit, the game has a dedicated character introduction page for her, which you should definitely check out before deciding whether to pull. Speaking of pulling Mina, we should also talk about the new shop items added in this update. The Compass of Destiny pack for Mina is now available, along with the Mina Guaranteed Artifact pack as a pop-up product. There's also the Divine Maiden of Fate product appearing in the shop relay, and 2 new packs. Compass's Special Pack and Radiant Stardust Special Pack have been added to the shop pack section. For those interested in building artifacts for other characters, Artifact Compass of Memory 1 and 2 have also been added to shop packs. And Lena's Compass of Destiny Accepted I and 2 are now available in the Garden of Records. Overall, a lot of wallets are going to cry after this update, but, well, that's a personal matter. Now moving on to something that might get less attention, but is actually very important for quality of life: improvements to the Monsterling system. If you've played Mongil for a while, you know that Monsterling is a pretty deep system, and managing them can sometimes feel like actual administrative work. This update introduces a trait grade filter, allowing you to sort monsterlings by their trait level, something you previously had to scroll endlessly to find. That alone already feels like a huge relief. On top of that, the upgrade screen now also includes filters, so you can easily identify which monsterlings you want to upgrade. Honestly, these are features that probably should have been there from the beginning, but better late than never. And it's nice to see the dev team listening to player feedback here. A smaller feature worth mentioning is the addition of an event story skip feature. I know people will be split on this. Some will be happy because they can skip straight to farming, while others might feel like it undermines the effort put into the story. Personally, I'm somewhere in the middle. I read it the first time, but skipping on replays makes sense. Next up is system additions and improvements. Flare has received improved character modeling, meaning her 3D model has been upgraded. If she's your main, that's great news. Time to admire her again. Additionally, descriptions for some stats in the detailed stats section have been improved for better clarity. It might seem small, but it's actually quite important since many players previously didn't fully understand how certain stats worked. Lastly, salvaging 5-star equipment now gives 2 Conquest Boss materials instead of before. This is a nice buff for players grinding Conquest Boss, since those materials tend to be in short supply. Now let's talk about Dimensional Rift, because there are some important changes you need to keep in mind to avoid wasting resources. The current season, Sword of Utmost Hospitality, will end on 5/5 Tuesday at 23:59 UTC. The new season will start on 5/6 Wednesday at 0 UTC and will run until 5/26 Tuesday at 23:59 UTC. The key thing to remember is that when the new season starts, your 3 free weekly Rift entry tickets will reset. That means if you still have unused tickets from the current season, make sure to use them before 5/6 because they will not carry over. Also, the bonus characters and elements for Dimensional Rift will change with the new season, so be prepared to adjust your team accordingly. All right, now we get to the part I think most people are waiting for, or at least the part that stood out the most to me: bug fixes, and especially the follow-up measures related to the bonus time event. Before we talk about the compensation, Let's quickly go through some of the bugs that were fixed, because some of them are honestly pretty funny. First, the issue where the screen would stutter when connecting a gamepad on PC has been fixed. If you play on PC with a controller, you know how annoying sudden frame drops can be, so that's good news. Next are two bugs related to Nyaners. One where a strange pop-up would appear in certain situations when naming them, and another where an error message would occasionally show up during naming. I don't know if you've experienced these, but imagining trying to carefully name your Nyaners while random pop-ups keep interrupting is definitely frustrating. There was also an interesting bug related to equipment upgrades, where the increased values of substat enhancement rates were displayed incorrectly. The important thing here is that this was only a visual bug. The actual values were applied correctly. So if you upgraded equipment during that time, don't worry, your stats are fine. It just looked wrong on screen. Still, bugs like this can definitely cause confusion if left unfixed for too long. Nyaners EXP also had an issue where in certain situations after obtaining Monsterlings, EXP would not increase correctly. The dev team confirmed that the missing EXP will be distributed after the update based on your cumulative capture count, so there's nothing you need to do. Just wait for it. Two more bugs were fixed, a temporary slowdown in character motion after revive, and an issue where some friends who had been offline for a long time were still displayed as online. That second one is kind of funny. Messaging someone thinking they're online when they actually logged out a week ago is definitely awkward. On the UX side, the pop-up shown when purchasing recruit currency has been changed. Previously, if you owned pledge tokens, a pop-up asking to use them would appear every time you bought recruit currency, which confused many players. Now that pop-up has been removed, so you won't be prompted about pledge tokens anymore. It sounds minor, but this kind of UX friction was genuinely annoying, so it's a good fix. It's also worth noting that the Black membership benefit period will now end at the daily reset time, which is 00 UTC, instead of the previous method. This change applies to memberships purchased or renewed after the 429 update. So if you're planning to buy or renew Black membership, make sure to time it properly to maximize your benefits. Now, this is the part that really needs some attention because it affects the entire community, the bonus time event situation. It's clear that since this was the first time the dev team ran an event like this, there were some significant shortcomings in how it was handled. They acknowledged this directly and apologized for the inconvenience. As compensation, all divers, meaning all players, will receive 500 keys via mailbox. The claim period runs from after the 429 maintenance until 5/6 Wednesday at 14:59 UTC, so make sure to claim it before the deadline. However, there's an important detail here. The dev team investigated the data and identified 14,001 players who used the auto-clear feature in dungeons during the period when the issue occurred. Accounts with abnormal activity have received individual warnings, and repeated violations may result in account restrictions according to the terms of service without further notice. Those who received warnings will not be eligible for the 500 keys compensation. This is a pretty clear message from the devs that they are actively monitoring and detecting abnormal behavior. Personally, I support a fair gaming environment, so I think this is a reasonable approach. If you find a bug, the right thing to do is report it through the customer center, not exploit it. To sum it all up, the Flame That Takes What Lingers update for Mongil Star Dive is quite substantial. You get Mina, a very impressive new 5-star character in terms of concept. You get highly requested Monsterling improvements, a bunch of meaningful bug fixes, important Dimensional Rift season changes, and 500 free keys for everyone. It's not a revolutionary update, but it's solid, and more importantly, the way the dev team handled the bonus time event, openly acknowledging the issue and providing clear compensation, is a positive sign for the game's long-term management. If you found this video helpful, drop a like so I know to keep making this kind of patch breakdown content. And if you're still deciding whether to pull Mina, leave a comment below. I and the community will be happy to discuss it with you. See you in the next video, and good luck pulling Mina.